2024 has been an incredible year for manga. From the departure of some of Jump's most beloved favorites to the birth of a few new rising stars, it feels like we're truly in an exciting time for this medium. But what exactly made 2024 so special? Don't worry, we'll be taking a look at all of that throughout the entirety of this video. What's going on, everybody? DomoSenpai here, and today is going to be all about going over the state of manga in the year 2024, sort of like a review on the year. Breaking down some of the trends, talking about some of the standout series, and what that means for manga moving forward. We'll talk about the breakout stars like Kagurabachi, Ichi the Witch, and Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, revisiting some of the hypest manga moments like Gachi Yakuta, as well as even discussing how manga has evolved on a global scale. So without any further ado, man, let's jump right into the video. As I mentioned previously, with the end of Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia in the Shonen Jump publication, there were a lot of people looking to fill the void of those two. And surprisingly, Jump released quite a few manga this year that actually stuck their landings. But we'll be going over a few that had a breakout year, those being Kagurabachi, Ichi the Witch, and Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi. Kagurabachi exploded onto the scene in September of last year, and throughout the year of 2024, had some of the most exciting moments in manga. It started off as a meme to people on the internet, y'all know how that go, then became not only a phenomenon, but an actual hit, which I called prior to the manga coming out. With its clever storytelling tactics and dynamic action sequences, Kagurabachi secured its position as the leader of Jump's new wave of heavy hitters and rising stars. Make sure y'all go peep the video I did about rising stars. It's a really good watch if you care. Ichi the Witch was a series that when people got wind of who the duo was behind it, immediately jumped up and went scouring the internet for more information. It's a series that challenges the norms by introducing a male protagonist in a female-dominated magical world, flipping traditional dynamics on their heads. The storytelling is fun, and that's not something I use often in regards to how a lot of manga structure themselves nowadays. It brings back that old sense of creating stories for people to enjoy and leave happily as opposed to the depressing feeling of the current era. I said this before, but I think Ichi the Witch is the perfect counter for Kagurabachi in terms of balance. And that brings us to our final breakthrough manga of the year, being Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi. From what I've seen on the internet, which obviously you should always take with a grain of salt, Kiyoshi had no right being what it is currently. Kiyoshi, like Ichi the Witch, is fun, and I think it's doing an excellent job of thriving in what it's trying to accomplish. I feel like I see what Jump is trying to do in regards to the future of manga, but I will save that for a later video. Kiyoshi, in my opinion, is the perfect example of Jump diversifying its lineup. And you know what? You know what Kiyoshi really reminds me of? And it's probably why I feel so strongly about it like I do. I don't know if any of y'all have experienced this, but do y'all remember being a kid, waking up on Saturdays, knowing you didn't have school, and y'all ran downstairs to the kitchen to get you a bowl of cereal and turn the TV on to watch cartoons, whether that be Kids WB, Cartoon Network, Fox, Disney, any of those? That's exactly what Kiyoshi reminds me of. Every chapter brings that level of joy to me, to the point where I look forward to waking up on Sundays and reading it while eating a bowl of cereal. Kiyoshi would be an excellent, in my opinion, right? Just my opinion. Kiyoshi would be an excellent candidate for a Cartoon Network slot. I think it would work really well over there. While I could get into Centuria due to its artistic design, or Mad for its forward way of storytelling, or even Drama Queen for attempting to use controversy to push its viewership, I don't think any of those hit the scene like the ones I mentioned prior. But as far as manga that will break out in 2025, I think that will be a fun video to make if I haven't already. This year we've seen quite the blend of ambiguous and layered protagonists. I think Gachi Yakuta led the way by a long shot in that category, showing that fans actually do crave complexity in regards to protagonists over traditional heroes. And that's not to say that traditional heroes aren't good, but I think with the people outside of the target demo reading these manga more so than ever, which I'll be getting to later on, I feel like that has caused mangaka to go outside of the norm to create things that satiate the readers on a global scale. And that leads into our second trend, being the global reach of manga. 2024 has marked a significant growth in manga's international popularity. Thanks to streaming platforms and simultaneous global releases, manga is no longer just Japan's treasure, it's the world's obsession. Whether that's to its benefit or detriment, I will leave that up to you to decide. The more interesting thing is we've been getting a lot more genre blending in manga, and that's our final trend of the year. From supernatural thrillers to sci-fi romances, manga creators are pushing the boundaries and attempting to redefine categories, which I think is a creatively powerful initiative to take. It seems like they don't want to be put in a box for what they write, and that is fair because oftentimes that inhibits your creativity, and as creatives, that is the last thing we want to lose. It was one of the reasons Gachi Yakuza spoke out to me so much because in my opinion, it transcends the typical shonen demo bullshit and takes an obtuse approach at not only its storytelling, but its artistic direction as well. Shout out K Udana, I love you, big dog. One of the last things that I want to cover, and to be fair, I think it's one of the more important topics to discuss, is what 2024 has taught us about manga. Usually you will see these types of discussions in 20-minute videos attempting to use every big word in the book to extend the time, but there's no need for me to do that. I'll just tell you like it is. If there's one takeaway from this year, it's that manga is in a constant state of evolution. I think I said that last year too. I probably did. I'll have to go look at the videos I made last year about this same topic. The industry is listening to its fans while taking creative risks, which is why we're seeing such a diverse lineup. It's also a year that reminded us of supporting mangaka, which I've always deemed to be one of the most important things to do. From mental health conversations to calls for better work conditions, that was also for the animators as well because, you know, they deal with a lot. To even cracking down on people for trying to attack mangaka over their creative endeavors. 2024 has pushed these issues to the forefront and allowed more folks to get behind the creator, not to protect the manga, but to protect the mangaka themselves. 2024 to me has been one of the best years in manga to date. And if I were to be so bold, I'd say that this was potentially a golden year for manga. A lot of amazing titles dropping, a lot of cool decisions by companies in regards to pushing platforms to create more platforms for people to read more manga, to even more simulpubs than I could ever remember. I think it's safe to say that manga has shifted in an even better direction than I could ever ask for. Anyway, that about does it for this video. 2024 was a creatively bold year full of groundbreaking stories and unforgettable moments. So, to my audience, what were some of your favorite manga this year? Make sure y'all let me know in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Took a well-needed break yesterday, so we are back to the daily video grind. I have another video in the works going over some of my favorite manga moments this year, but I think that one's gonna take a bit more time, even though I already have like several moments in my head that stood out, to be honest. We also have the Rudo introspective coming out, the one where I'm talking about who he really is supposed to be. I think that one's gonna be fun. And like I said, dude, I got like several titles, right? I got like 7 or 8 titles coming out in the span of like the next 2 weeks that I think are gonna be super sick, that I hope y'all enjoy. With how good of a year we've had in 2024, I can't wait to see what 2025 brings us. Anyway, y'all have a good morning, afternoon, or night wherever y'all are. I'm DomoSenpai, and I will catch you guys in the next video.